Hello everyone, welcome to this presentation on neural compound word generation and splitting in Sanskrit language. My name is Sushant. I am one of the authors of this paper. My co-authors are Arun Kumar, Dr. Pratosh and Dr. Brajesh Lal. This paper describes neural network-based approaches to the formation and splitting of compound words in Sanskrit known as Sandhi and Sandhi Vichhed respectively. What Sandhi is, I will explain in quite some detail in the upcoming slides. In this paper, we present a novel approach that has a better accuracy than the existing methods and requires no extra lexical or morphological resource. Sanskrit is one of the oldest surviving languages. A huge corpus of religious, philosophical, socio-political, and the scientific texts of Indian subcontinent are in Sanskrit. In around 5th century BC, a scholar named Panini wrote a treatise on Sanskrit named Ashtadhyayi, which formalized the rules on linguistic syntax and the grammar for Sanskrit. Ashtadhyayi is one of the oldest surviving texts on Sanskrit and is the most comprehensive source of grammar on Sanskrit. Ashtadhyayi has 8 chapters, which contains almost 4,000 rules on Sanskrit. Many researchers have tried to codify the rules in the Ashtadhyayi for Sanskrit analysis. Sandhi actually refers to the phonetic transformation at word boundaries, wherein two words are combined to create a new word. Sandhi is basically done to facilitate pronunciation. Ashtadhyayi has defined 3 types of sandhi: the first sandhi or the vowel sandhi, vyanjana sandhi or the consonant sandhi, and the third word being a visarga sandhi. Sandhi split or sandhi vichhed resolves the compound words into its constituent words. So sandhi split, unlike sandhi, has an additional challenge of predicting the split point as well. As far as existing work on sandhi is concerned, the 3 most popular publicly available online tools for Sandhi and Sandhi split both are the JNU Sandhi tools, University of Hyderabad Sandhi tools, and the INRIA tools. A brief description you can see on your screen right now. A few years ago, some researchers came up with a Sandhi benchmarking dataset. They named this dataset as Sandhi Kosh, and this was meant to facilitate research in the area of Sandhi for other researchers by introducing a huge dataset that people can benchmark their methods on Sandhi, for both Sandhi and Sandhi split. The Sandhi Kosh paper also analyzed the performance of above 3 mentioned tools on their dataset. We have used their results to compare our performance with the performance of these 3 tools. Sandhi problem has mostly been addressed by using rule-based algorithms so far. We haven't come across any method or any paper that tries to do Sandhi by using neural networks. Modern learning approaches have been tried by many researchers, but in general, they don't have a very high accuracy. In the recent years, deep learning-based approaches have become very popular. One notable contribution was from Aralikate et al., who introduced a double decoder method for Sandhi split, which had a very high accuracy. Along with that, in their paper, they compared their results with the results produced by the publicly available tools. We have taken their results and compared their results with the results provided by our method. Analysis of Sandhi is critical to the analysis of Sanskrit text. Many researchers have pointed out how a good Sandhi split tool is necessary for a good coverage morphological analyzer. Good Sandhi and Sandhi split tools can facilitate work in the areas like text-to-speech synthesis, neural machine translation, and as mentioned earlier, morphological analysis. The Sandhi Kosh paper has shown us that the currently available rule-based implementations are not very accurate. This paper tries to address the problem of low accuracy of existing implementation using a machine learning approach. Sandhi task is similar to a language translation problem where the sequence of characters or words produces another sequence. Recurrent neural networks are widely used to solve such problems. Sequence-to-sequence model introduced by Sutskever et al. Is specially suited to such problems, and therefore same was used in our work. The training and the test data were in the Artans Devanagari format, which was converted to SLP1 format. Devanagari format is the native format in which Sanskrit is traditionally written. SLP1 format is the transliteration format which writes Sanskrit using the Roman characters. So the proposed method expects two words as input and outputs a new word as per the Sandhi rules of Ashtadhyayi. For example, if we have the two words like Samanya Dhvansan and Angikarat, the output would be Samanya Dhvansangikarat. The results achieved from this approach are rather poor, and analysis shows that this is mainly due to the excessive length of words in some cases. So the proposed approach tries to address this problem by taking the last n characters of the first input word and the first m characters of the second input word to do the sandhi between the two smaller new words. Resulting compound word is appended with the characters which are omitted from the first and second word at the end and at the beginning of the compound word respectively. This approach works well for long words but suffers from the problem of losing information after truncation of words. Some Sandhi rules are specific to word category and the truncated words lose the category information. So the proposed method does not use any lexical resource and learns to incorporate the word category related rules. And therefore, we would like to lose as little information as possible. With some experimentation, we found out that the best results were achieved with n equal to 6 and m equal to 2, which means that when we take the last 6 characters of the first word and the first 2 characters of the second word, we are able to achieve the best results. You can see the example below where we have taken the last 6 characters of the first word and the first 2 characters of the second word and then combine them together to create the compound word, and after which all the 3 components were put together to get the final word. This is the architecture that we have employed. It's a standard sequence to sequence model. Conceptually, the Sandhi model architecture can also be used for Sandhi split, where the input and output are swapped with the compound word as input and the 2 initial words concatenated together as the output. However, the accuracy achieved with this approach is very, very poor. The truncation method, the trick that we use in the Sandhi case, cannot be applied here since we do not know where the split point lies in the compound word. An empirical analysis of the Sandhi dataset showed that the following 2 observations hold for almost all the Sandhi words. No more than the last 2 characters of the first word and the first 2 characters of the second word participate in the Sandhi process, that is, undergo a change post Sandhi. The last 2 characters of the first word and the first 2 characters of the second word combine to produce no more than 5 and no less than 2 characters. Exceptions to the above rules were found to be mostly errors and thus helped us in cleaning the dataset. So the above 2 rules lead to the conclusion that the portion of the compound word which needs to be analyzed for change post Sandhi should be no more than 5 characters in length. This sequence of 5 characters will be referred to as Sandhi window in the rest of this discussion. And this becomes our target of Sandhi split. So basically we have broken our problem into 2 smaller problems. The first being the prediction of the Sandhi window and the second one being splitting that Sandhi window into 2 components. The task of stage 1 is to predict the Sandhi window. The input sequence is the compound word and the target output is an integer array with same number of elements as the characters in the compound word. All the elements in this array are 0 except the elements corresponding to the Sandhi window characters, which are set to 1. You can see the example below which shows this mechanism. For an input compound word, the RNN model trained thus is expected to produce an array that has a size equal to the input compound word length. All elements in this array must be 0 except the element at the Sandhi window location, which must be equal to 1. For this decoder, we used an RNN with the bidirectional LSTM cell. Once the models trained, during the inference time, the Sandhi window is estimated to be the contiguous sequence of 5 characters that has the highest sum total for its corresponding output sequence. The task of stage 2 is to split the Sandhi window. So once we have found that consecutive sequence of 5 characters which form the location where the Sandhi was actually done, so now we are trying, in this stage, we are trying to split that part into 2 words. So the input sequence would be the Sandhi window and the output sequence would be the truncated words concatenated together with a plus marker in between. So as in the earlier Sandhi case, we are using the same dictionary for the input and output here. One hot encoding is being used for the words, uh, for the characters. On the encoder side, the basic cell unit for RNN is the bi-LSTM, and on the decoder side, LSTMs are being used. The input test vectors were divided into batches of 64, and the training was run for 30 epochs with RMS prop optimizer and categorical cross entropy loss. And then there is the final post-processing step after both the stages decoding have been done. The characters before the Sandhi window were the preceding part of the first word, and the characters after the Sandhi window are the succeeding part of the second word. So the first word obtained after the Sandhi window would be the succeeding part of the first word, and the second word obtained after the Sandhi window split is the preceding part of the second word. Coming to the data that we use in training our models, the data mostly comes from the University of Hyderabad corpus for Sandhi words. This data set has more than 100,000 Sandhi examples. There are many errors as well in this data set. Some of them were removed using some manually created check rules. This data set has examples from all the different 3 types of Sandhis mentioned earlier. There were some cases in this data set where more than 2 words are combined to produce 1 word. This is done by using the Sandhi operation recursively, and these cases were discarded. Most examples in this dataset follow the rule below, which says that NC minus NW plus NW1 plus NW2 is less than equal to 1 or more than equal to -2, where NC refers to the number of SLP1 characters in the compound word. NW1 is the number of SLP1 characters in the first word, and NW2 is the number of SLP1 characters in the second word. Of all the cases which violated this rule, most were obvious errors in the dataset, and the remaining cases were found too few in number and were discarded as outliers. It is to be noted that this equation is consistent with the second of the 2 empirical rules introduced earlier. Using these rules, we were left with around 81,000 examples, of which around 51,000 were used as the training set. Around 13,000 examples were set aside as a validation set, and on about 16,000 and the 16,000 examples became our test set. The same data is used for Sandhi split as well. The steps for the data preparation are as follows. So we take an example from the data set which has a compound word and its 2 constituent words. So we first mark the Sandhi window in the compound word. Let's say N1 and N2 are the characters in the compound word before and after the Sandhi window. So we first take away the first N1 characters and we call the resulting word as the truncated word. Then we remove the last N2 characters from the second word and call the resulting word as the truncated word 2, TW2. The compound word and the location of the Sandhi window pair is the data for the stage 1 decoder. The Sandhi window SW and the truncated word 1 and the truncated word 2 are the test vector for the stage 2. This step, this is repeated for all the examples which were selected from the University of Hyderabad Sandhi corpus. So you can see our results in this slide. The method proposed here outperforms all the existing methods of doing Sandhi in every case, except the Indriya Sandhi tool in case of Bhagavad Gita word set. All these four sites mentioned here, literature, Bhagavad Gita, the University of Hyderabad corpus, and the Ashtadhyayi, they come from the Sandhi Kosh paper, which I had mentioned earlier. For the Sandhi split, we are comparing our results with the publicly available tools and the double decoder method proposed by Aralikatte et al. And you can see that in the final accuracy split prediction, our method improves upon the accuracy of their method by a fairly decent margin. So that's it from our side. Thank you very much for logging in.